Welcome to Poets from the Neighborhood. My name is David M. Harris.
And I'm Bruce Jennings. We hope you'll enjoy the poems we'll be reading today, poems written by your friends and neighbors. Our first poem is Afflatus by VeerajaR. So, you say, poetry is not for you. My friend, just listen. Breathe in deep, closing your eyes. Hear the air whisper. Wisdom from travels afar. Be still and listen to the beat, the rhythm of your own heart. If that's not an afflatus, what is? Dear friend, don't you see, the world around us reels. Is that not inspiring for ye? That you can see, that you can hear and speak, that you can feel and laugh, that you can for real love, that you are this minute very alive. If that's not afflatus, what is? My friend, let the beauty of nature that you see and hear sink deeper into your heart and your soul to love impart, calming senses and impulses, channel thoughts to compose, lifting as bubbles weightless, float in the moment of bliss. If that's not afflatus, what is?
Creation by Susie Margaret Ross. My pen dances across the page. Words tumble everywhere. Poetry blossoms spill from my heart.
Brain Fever by Lydia Esmer. Whence this teeming of thought and image, obsessing throughout the day, from glimmer, a mere suggestion at dawn, like leftover dream or hint of indigestion, to lazy notions roused at noon, the confluence of sight and sound and scent, with deft touch of master hand as chef mixing a salad. By nighttime, the fever, raging out of control like drug-induced hallucination, spurs me on with fervor extinguished, only upon completion, prompting the question, is this madness or inspiration? Methinks the surge a veritable purge of stale cheese and musty bread, and wine gone acrid in the flask as all distilled anew, to render a liquor much better than the last.
Without poetry, Ramon L. Presson. Dear reader, what would you do if I stopped writing poetry, if I ceased bringing cut flowers in from the garden and placing them in vases by the breakfast nook? What if I milked the moon almost dry, so there was never more than a crescent in the midnight sky? What if I stopped noticing deer on the hillside, forgot to call your attention to the way the fragrance of honeysuckle rides the breeze like a ghost ship? What if I kept the wine to myself and no longer spread the picnic blanket beneath the senior oak at the park? There's always a remote chance I could stop hearing the songs of whippoorwills or the voice of God in a young child whose bounce threatens to unsaddle the pale blue ribbon from her ponytail. But it's okay, because you'll be too preoccupied to notice that I've become too busy for quaint descriptions and metaphors, that perhaps I've grown weary of taking inventory in Earth's store, or I'm exhausted from taking up Adam's mantle and naming all the animals, both inside and surrounding me. You and I will go our separate ways, and you'll find a newspaper to read, an investment magazine, or a romance novel. And I'll work the jumble, write serious books, and tell the librarians group that poetry is nice, but it doesn't pay the bills. Then again, perhaps one day, so far flung from now that I don't even recognize you, you'll stop me on the street, on the corner, just as I'm preparing to cross, you, with a tired coat and trembling hand, asking me if I can spare a poem.
A Haiku by Louise Colln. In an old graveyard, the stones bow to each other. A cat hides kittens.
Writing a Poem by VeerajaR. I sat down to write a poem, my fingers feeling the keyboard, my brain on search mode, the cursor blinking on, both my mind and computer trying to boot up. I stare at the screen, looking deep into my soul. Thank you for watching Poets from the Neighborhood. We hope you'll join us again soon.